Okay, so the plan for today, like I said, we are going to be modeling games and activities, very playful, casual space, so that you all can start to get a feel for some of the games if you want to practice kind of holding the Zoom power and being the facilitator there. Um, what I want to talk a little bit about first before we get into that is kind of the breakdown of games. So what we've done is we've taken the sources of strength games and we've kind of organized them into hopefully an easy to read chart. So typically when we're talking about the games, we might talk about buy-in. And when we talk about buy-in, that's kind of from a participant perspective. So how much will students or maybe adult advisors or just people that you're engaging have to be kind of bought in? And so we've kind of, we've taken that, but we've also looked at it from the complexity of the game or the instructions, because sometimes there might be a low buy-in game that participants are eager to do and participate in, but the complexity to facilitate that in a virtual world might be a little bit more challenging. So we've created this little chart so that if you're in a pinch and you're about to facilitate a meeting, you can say, okay, I've got 3 minutes at the beginning of this meeting and I want to do a quick and easy game. Then you might go to that kind of low buy-in, low complexity, and maybe do some rock, paper, scissors. So that is there, that exists, and we'll put the link to this in the chat. But I want to say that this document lives in a Google folder that you all have access to. So we have a Matchstick resources folder, and within that folder we have a subfolder called online games and activities. And in that folder exists this document as well as a copy of all of the national games and the instructions. We also have some slides, some slide decks for different activities that you can do. So we're trying to make this really plug and play so that you can just grab things and use them as you facilitate meetings. Okay, so I think that is it for now. The only other thing that I'll mention is the highlight that these games that we'll participate in today, and a lot of these games require, or it's best if participants have audio and visual capabilities. So there can absolutely be adaptations to these games. We're not going to get into all of the various adaptations, but just know that as you facilitate, like anything online, there may be situations where you find that maybe you can't use certain functions if a student is on a phone, and so we'll kind of talk a little bit about that, but just know that these things can be adapted depending on the device being used and how that's playing out. Okay, so with that being said, Bianca and Tony, let's introduce you super quick to the group here. So like I said, my name is Kelby, and I'll pass it off to Bianca to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Bianca. I'm the program assistant at Matchstick, overseeing Sources of Strength Oregon implementation. And Tony?
Hey, I am a statewide trainer for Matchstick and Sources of Strength. And I also work for Bethel School District, where I'm an adult advisor at Calapooya High School.
Great. So with that, I think we'll get into our first game. And Tony is going to model our first game here.
All right, so first game is called Rock, Paper, Scissor. And how this game works is we're just gonna play rock, paper, scissor, but it's gonna be me versus all of you. And so what I'll do is I'll just go like 1, 2, 3, and then what's the word that we use? We could use shoot or tell me the
Shoot
answer.
or show.
Shoot or show, right? So you can say 1, 2, 3, shoot or show. and you go 1, 2, 3, shoot, and then everybody goes and puts it out there, whatever it is. So you're gonna make a little platform with your hand, and then you're gonna put your rock, your paper, or your scissor on it. And then what I'll do is I'll do rock, paper, scissor myself. And if you match me, you're safe. Or if you beat me, you're safe. But if my thing beats you, then you're out. And if you're out, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna hit stop video. And then we'll know who's still in, because if you're in, we'll be able to see your face. All right, anybody have any questions? All right, it's going. All right, everybody ready? All right, put it on your platform. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, and I have rock. I have rock. So if you're scissors, you're out. So everybody that's scissors, go ahead and go, you're out. Okay, let's go again. Are you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, shoot. And it's scissors. So if you're paper, I'm sorry, you're out. All right, go again. All right, 1, 2, 3, shoot. And it's rock again. Look, it's a geode. The geode. There it is. So I think that oh wait, oh, you're both in. You're both still in. All right, and let's go again. Are you ready?
Hi.
Yeah, we're doing good. All right, so 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, and it is, oh no, my seamlessness became less seamless. Having her, well, I had something clever, but it is paper.
Yay.
Paper. So who's the winner? So it's Heidi. Heidi, yay, congratulations, Heidi. So, all right, everybody come back on, and I'll talk about a few adaptations. So one is, and I just had like a little technical glitch because I had it ready on my previous Zoom. I wonder if just when I switched to a different client or something, it didn't work. So you can use virtual backgrounds too, in order to kind of like throw what you're doing, just make it a little more interactive or silly or whatnot. So for instance, for rock, I could just do this. And then that would indicate that it's rock. Or you can find other fun pictures. You can also make it a full body game. So you could have people step away from their cameras and go, this is rock, this is paper, and this is scissor. Or you can even do that from your seat too. You can always go rock, paper with your arms out, and then scissors like this. So there's ways to kind of make it more of a full body, get stuff moving. So one of the things that we wanted to do was invite you to give it a shot. So I know that might feel kind of funny because you're the but if you wanted to just practice, you can practice like right now. Does anybody want to just run through like practicing instruction or do a quick round? You don't even have to finish the game. Would anybody want to jump in and do it? Just something to offer a practice chance for people. No, okay. And the other thing that we could do too, maybe like Kelly, Bianca, is as we go, we could maybe when we're all done, do that too. Just like ask if people want to practice stuff after we've kind of modeled a bunch. Maybe that would feel more natural. All right, so next piece is group charades.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lead this one. So this is called group charades, and we do this a little bit differently. Typically in charades, you have, one person acting it out, right, and a bunch of guessers, and we are gonna reverse it. So what we'll do here, we are going to compete against each other. So we'll have two folks competing against each other. And depending on your group size, you might make that 3 or 4 or 5 different people competing against each other. But outside of those two competitors, we're all going to be acting out the prompt that I have on the card. Okay. Go ahead, everybody mute yourself, except for, we'll do Bianca and Tony to start. So you guys are going to be competing against yourself or against one another. And all of us that are muted are going to be acting out the prompt, okay? So Tony and Bianca, please go ahead and close your eyes. Okay, and everybody, here is the prompt. Okay. Tony, Bianca, ready, set, charade.
Skiing.
Skiing.
Ooh, you got it, Tony.
What was it?
Skiing.
Skiing.
I feel like I got that a little bit before, but we'll just, we'll let
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
There's a
Advocate for
Zoom
yourself.
delay.
Sometimes there's a Zoom delay, so you let me
Maybe
know
we
if I'm
both
wrong.
won.
Okay, so go ahead, Tony and Bianca, please mute yourselves. So the next competitors, Heidi and Lisa. Heidi and Lisa, unmute yourselves and close your eyes. Perfect. Okay, ready. Oh, don't open yet. Sorry, I have another one.
I didn't see it.
That cue was misleading. Keep your eyes closed. Okay, open your eyes. Ready, set, charade.
Chopping, cooking, frying onions, cooking onions, chopping onions.
You got it,
Chopping
Heidi.
onions.
We'll give it to you. Cutting onions. That's great. Okay, Heidi and Lisa, please mute yourselves. Next competitors. I'm sorry if I mispronounce this. Is it Neha?
Neha.
Neha. Okay. Neha and Brooke, please unmute yourself and close those eyes. Here is the prompt. Ready, set, charade.
Unicorn.
Oh, Brooke, that was amazing. You got it.
Nice work, Tony.
Nobody said narwhal.
Yeah.
Narwhal was my next. That was my next guess.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Brooke and Neha, go ahead and mute yourselves. Next competitors, Shanda and Ari, is it? Is it Ari? Okay, unmute yourselves and then close your eyes. Here's the prompt. Ready, set, charade.
Oh, flipping pancakes.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that was really good, Shanda. I'm so impressed with all of you right now. I just thought these were going to be a little harder. Okay, next up, we've got Francie and Rama. Unmute yourselves and close your eyes.
Helby, can I ask a quick question? Do you have, does Sources have a list of objects to act out? Okay.
Yes, so in that special folder I was talking about earlier, we have an online games prompts where we have a list of all prompts. These are all on there. Don't go into the folder and cheat right now. Okay, so have I shown you the prompt yet?
No.
No, okay, here's the prompt. Ready, set, charade.
Oh, limbo, doing the limbo.
Yeah, that's great. Good job. Okay, next competitors, Carrie and Lori. Go ahead and unmute yourselves. Yep, and then close your eyes.
Should we throw Jess in there too? I think.
Yeah, let's throw Jessica in there as well. We'll have this be our last round. Let me see if I have a really good one. I don't know. Okay, ready? Here's the prompt. Keep your eyes closed. Okay, ready, set, charade.
Rain dance?
Honey pot. Water.
Jumping into a pool?
Super close, J-Mac. Super close.
Diving into a pool. Diving into a puddle?
Little.
Puddle jumping.
Yes. Jumping into a puddle. Good job.
Really?
Oh,
Wow, that's
impressive.
good.
All right. Well, amazing acting skills as well as guessing skills. That was some really fine work.
One adaptation for this, if you have cheaters, is you can tell them to turn around because I've heard some feedback that some teenagers have been wily. A little bit of peeky weeky.
Funny. Yeah, so that's a great point. You can have them turn around when you show the prompts. This game is best done in gallery view. So if you're working with a group, make sure to have them all get in gallery view so they can see as many faces as possible. And this one's pretty fun. It's really interactive. It gets people kind of up and going, and kind of a more high energy game. But people can kind of invest in as much as they want to if they're not super into it or it's not their style. So that I think is really great. And really the only thing that you need to prepare ahead are these little cards. It's best done on cards or Post-its or whatever. And just showing it up to the screen is the most efficient way to do it. And like I had mentioned, these prompts, there are prompts available for you. So we'll show you that folder there at the end. Any questions about group charades? Oh, is there anyone that wants to practice at this point? We'll offer up practice at the end as well, but oh, Brooke, are you trying to talk? It looks like you're muted.
I was just saying I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I am going to pass it over to Bianca. She's going to lead us in our next game.
All right, so our next game is Copycat Commotion. So in this game, you'll see an image shared on the screen. So like that image, but we're not going to use that one. And you'll have a certain amount of time per image shared on the screen to search your surroundings and position yourself to recreate what you see in the image. So depending on the complexity of the image, how far you have to run for the objects, how many things are in the screen, I'll let you know how much time you have. So when time runs out, the facilitator, the person sharing the screen, will say time's up, and then they will take a screenshot of all the participants in gallery view. So this game is rated at the medium buy-in under the list of games that are high complexity. And the reason why is that the facilitator, so whoever's leading the meeting and sharing screen, has to have a set of pre-selected images. You can either have them saved in like Google Slides, or you can just have the file open and ready to go. So fun images can include famous paintings, an action shot from a film, or maybe like an athlete in motion, or just an image that uses easily defined props. So think like a hat, a teddy bear, a flashlight, things like that. So there's also a set of images that are already all available and ready to go on our Matchstick resources folder, and you're welcome to use those as well. So the considerations for this game is that you will need, so the reason why it's a little bit more complex is that you'll need someone to be able to share their screen, and that you'll also need to be able to have the participants be able to view the screen. So it works best if everyone that's logged into the meeting or into the call is coming in from a laptop as opposed to a phone, because it might not be as easily viewable, the images. And it could be helpful also to have a co-host and a host lead this game, because the host could be sharing the images and the co-host could be taking the screenshot. Although I'm going to try to do both, which is like patting your head and rubbing your belly, and it's going to be super fun.
I'll take a picture too, and then maybe when we post anything, we can show them. There's a little bit of a difference if you have a co-host take the picture, because when the co-host takes the picture, you'll be able to see the one that everybody's mimicking, whereas you can't do that if you're screen sharing. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll do at least one so you can see the difference.
Well,
It is better if you have even one of your students take the screenshot.
And how important is it to have the screenshot, do you think?
It's pretty fun because you can't really, you don't have a chance to look at everybody else's, and so it's nice to have that like picture. Yeah.
It's a funny thing to look at afterwards. All right, so this activity is super great for moving around. and also just for being creative. So we're gonna try a few, and we will see how this goes. So the first image, you will have 45 seconds, okay? So when I change it to the next image, you will have 45 seconds once that image is on the screen. And go. All right. Oh, and done. All right, time's up. Freeze. If you want to take that screenshot, Tony, because suddenly I don't know how.
Got it. You hit print screen on your keyboard.
Oh, okay. There's a feature through Zoom where it says screenshot, but I'm noticing that that only works in certain settings. Nice job. All right. So let's see. The next image, we will have 20 seconds. So watch out because it's only 20 seconds. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh, time's gonna be up soon. This is a good opportunity if you have a cat that isn't taking a nap.
I think you need to do the countdown soon. All these poor animals.
Time's up.
Got it.
10 points for you, Heidi. That's all. Lisa, look at the cat. That was great. All right, let us try another one. Another one with 20 seconds. All right, ready, set, go. Whoop, 10 seconds. Whoa, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Nice addition of sunglasses. See, because you think it's just going to be the one prop, but actually there's lots of props. Nice job. All right. Next.
I love your sleeping pup.
Do we get points for attitude?
Yeah.
Like following Will's attitude there, you know?
I think Brooke gets points for cuteness. Really adorable.
I'm a shapeshifter.
All right, the next one, 20 seconds on the clock and go.
Oh, well. Okay.
Oh, run, 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 get those things. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody has umbrellas in their house, getting some strange bad luck, but probably not. Nice. And Tony, you're getting the photos here?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, last one. Get ready. Go. Remember, anything can be a tennis racket if you try.
How much time?
Oh, we've got 10 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. These are great.
Ah, it's too late.
Never too late,
Oh.
kind of, but you know. So that is copycat commotion. It's fun, but it does require, you know, to do a little bit more preparing in advance, having the slides ready, knowing how to share the screen, and then also just thinking ahead of time, you know, how many seconds should I put for that? But usually around 20 to 40 seconds is usually sufficient. So
And
yeah.
so, Tony, you said that there's a thing on here that says,
Yeah, so this is how I do it. If there might be a better way, like you can do screen, I know you can do screen capture, so you can use your screen grabbing app to do it. I just hit print screen on my keyboard because especially if I'm trying to do a pose or something, all I do is I just move my finger over to my keyboard and literally there's a button that says, usually it's PRTSC. That's
oh,
your
I
print
see
screen
it.
button on
I
your
see it.
keyboard.
Okay.
If you press that, it takes an image of your desktop of just like whatever your screen is showing.
Okay.
Then I just go to like Word and I just
Right.
hit paste and I paste it into Word.
Okay.
And
So, yeah, it would help if you had a second person for that for sure.
yeah, and Bianca, I just emailed that to you. So maybe, yeah, while I do Lava Trap or something, you can put that somewhere where people can see it.
I remember not too long ago, they said multitasking was not that great for us. And I'm like, you know what? Now we need to multitask to do all that, you know?
It is helpful to have all the things, but to also kind of run a meeting with someone to,
Sure. Yeah, if you can.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I just will put in a little plug here. We're going to talk about it a little at the end, but the Matchstick team is available to help you facilitate your peer leader meetings or whatever meetings you're doing right now, whether it's adult advisor or whatever. We are here to help, even if you just need someone to be there for tech stuff, to grab screenshots or to help facilitate games or just to come in for the first 15 minutes and do a share activity or whatever. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, but just know that that's an option too.
Yeah, I'm finding with everything Zoom, whenever possible, if I can have a second person there, I can get a lot more interactive. Like I just did a presentation for my staff and it was 2 of us and it was great because one of us can kind of manage the chat and manage breakout room, blah, 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 while the other person's talking. Because you do, while you are typing, you do kind of just create large swaths of silence if you're the only one in charge.
Yeah.
all right, so if no one else has questions on copycat commotion, I'll pass it on over to, oh, you have
I do. So taking a picture, so you have a gallery of kids or people and it's just general, and then you put up, you know, a picture and everyone goes and comes back and changes. I guess I'm a little confused. I had fun like doing all that stuff and running around. And isn't there a part where we try to identify what was different?
Oh no, it's just.
Is that, am I
trying to
getting that
copy
mixed
it.
up with another
Yeah.
game or?
That's a different game, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of that game, Tony. I'm sure that you know
Isn't that called Copycat or something like that? Or
It sounds a little bit like what's the one where you stand in the 2 lines and you're trying to see different?
We used to call it Amazing Miss Marple because it was like a detective thing to try to figure out what was the same and what was different. Did you ever play games like that in summer camp and stuff, Brooke?
Nope.
Oh, Quick Change. You're thinking of Quick Change.
Quick
Yeah,
Change.
I think he's thinking of Quick Change. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, this is a different one. This one doesn't really have a winner or a loser or a goal besides to try to look like the thing.
This one's more just for kind of laughing and just giggling.
So we were trying to look like the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you
You're
do
trying
it?
to look different.
I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know if we were taking screenshots and we were going to compare them at the end or what. I was kind of just.
Well, now I'm looking forward to looking through all the pictures of you and to see what you come up with every time.
Oh, he's outed himself. Yeah.
Doing the whole thing. Cool.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Do we get to see any of those that we just went through? Okay.
I'll try to get those 2 by the end.
I can share those at the end, kind of when we're all
Okay.
finishing up, have some music and share those.
Mhm.
So does anybody else have any
Okay.
questions, things to add? No? All right, Tony, I will pass it on to you for Lava Trap.
All right, so this is based after a game that I myself played in, I think like elementary and middle school, but adapted to the onlines, the Zooms. So the first thing that y'all gonna need to do is go to view options. Go to view options and annotate. So you're gonna need to be able to annotate. Go ahead and go to the stamp function and just pick a stamp, any stamp that you like. And just stamp around, make sure that the stamper's working for you. The stamper, everybody getting stamps, making sure we can all stamp. Okay, cool. So if you're having a hard time stamping, let me know now. Make it a little easier. All right, everybody stop stamping. No more stamping. All right, so what's happening here is you're all working together as a whole class and you're trying to get from the bottom of this grid to the top. So you're trying to, again, move yourself from the very bottom to the top. Can you guys see my mouse right now? No, I wonder, weird, usually there's like a highlighter.
Yeah,
You
I
can?
see it.
Okay.
It's
There's a
just
little
white
highlight.
on white, so.
Is it wiggling around at the bottom?
No, it's up at, on my side, on the left, up in the second row. Yeah, there.
I guess it's just Bianca's. Maybe as a co-host, I don't get the right to do the highlight. That's cool. So in any case, you're just trying to go from the bottom row all the way up to the top row. So when you start, I'll call on your name, and basically I have everybody's name written down here in a big list. And when I call on your name, it's your turn to go. You pick any box at the bottom because you can start anywhere along the bottom. Then I'll call on another person and you can pick any box, but the box that you pick has to be non-diagonal. So those star pattern, that would be an illegal move right there. So it needs to be, I'll kind of show you an example. So first person might pick this spot. And then if I say, all right, it's your turn, then the next person might pick this spot. And then I'll call on a third person and then they could pick any spot. So they could basically go left, they could go right, or they can go up, right? So you just have to, you can only go up, down, left, right. You can't do a diagonal. But here's the trick, is that there's lava traps hidden all somewhere in this grid. Your goal is to get to the very top row from the bottom row, but there's certain spaces that are lava traps. If anybody hits a lava trap, then I say, ooh, lava trap. I give you about 2 seconds and then I clear the whole thing. And so it'll all disappear. You can work together though. So once you kind of figure out where the lava traps are, you can memorize that or maybe even take notes if you want to. And then when it's somebody else's turn, you can help them out and say, no, don't go up, don't go up. There's a lava trap there. Try left or right. And the goal again is to get from the bottom to the top. And once you get to the top, everybody wins. Any questions on that? All right, let's go ahead and get started. And if it doesn't make sense, that probably will as we play. So I'm gonna clear all the drawings again. So please do not draw unless it is your turn. All right, so let's start with Kelby. So Kelby, go ahead and pick any stamp you want and stamp somewhere along the bottom. Ooh, lava trap. So I have to clear all the drawings. All right, next up is Carrie. Carrie, go ahead and pick a spot. Okay, you're good so far. Brooke. Still doing good. Rama. You can go up. There you go. Ooh, still doing good. Bianca. Guys, you're so lucky. Lisa. What? Ari. Jessica. Oh, we're still okay. Lori. And we're still okay. Claire.
I think Claire may have left.
Neha. Woo! Wow, you guys did it really fast. I should have just maybe thrown in more bombs. Good job. So yeah, you made it through pretty much in one go. And I'll go ahead. What I'll do is, let's see, I'll find a stamp that people haven't really used. People haven't used the X. And I'll go ahead and I'll put in where all of the little lava traps were so that you know all of what you didn't hit. So look at that. Good job, everybody. You navigated right around them. Oh, and then there was this one down there too that we hit the first time. Oh, and there was one over there. So, so if you look at my, and actually, there wasn't one there initially. So this is kind of, to do prep, you're gonna wanna write down everybody's name. And then when you get to the bottom, go ahead and ask and say, is there anybody that I missed? Because sometimes people shuffle around in the Zoom, so you might miss somebody just when you're making this list. And then you just want to make a little grid ahead of time. And one thing that I do is that as people walk into the lava traps, I go ahead and I circle them. And those are the lava traps that definitely exist. And honestly, everything else is optional. So if the game is sort of dragging, feel free to just sort of make some of the lava traps not exist. But if they have stepped on it, don't make that one not exist, because you will really annoy some people in your class that actually pay attention to this stuff, and they will feel cheated. So don't. So make sure if they've ever hit a lava trap, you keep that. But if they haven't hit it yet, it could go either way. Or, you know, that one was going really smoothly. Maybe you can even throw in a lava trap that you didn't think of initially if they're winning too fast. So you can kind of control the pacing a little bit, but do make sure to create a cohesive story for the players. So I always circle them once they've really been trapped.
So how did you make or insert the graph?
So this is just a screen share, and the graph is an image that is available on the share drive.
And Francie, in this instance, we just inserted this image in our Google Slides. So that way we could just progress the slide deck and it comes just right up. So
Okay.
if you are facilitating.
So you're doing all of the different slides in Google Slides and then bringing that in. Okay.
Yeah, and we have this image in that folder, but you could also just have the image not in a slide deck, just pulled up on your screen and then just share the screen. But if you had other slides that you were presenting.
Yeah, if you have multiple things, it's easier to run through a PowerPoint or a slide deck. Yeah, got it.
And you definitely want to make multiple paths through. That's important, because if you only make it one way through or make it too hard, it can definitely drag.
Any other questions? No? Okay, well, at this point, we have some time. Would anybody like to practice any of the games, whether it's just giving the initial instructions or even if you want to see something else, if you want to see something repeated, let us know. If not, that's okay, and we can shift into talking about some resources and supports and show you where those things live. But any questions, or anybody want to practice some skills?
Mm-hmm. And this can include practicing with screen share, practicing with, if you haven't yet, hit print screen, go over to your Word document and paste it in so you kind of know what I'm talking about. If that's unfamiliar to you, that step, you can take some time practicing that and then ask us if it's not working for you. You know, any of the tech stuff, feel free to, if you just want a moment to fiddle with that, you can too. And then do we have the share folder available? Maybe we can cut and paste that into the chat.
I'll drop it into the chat. And I was wondering if we had the time, if it would be helpful for me to share my screen and show you that folder. Would that be helpful, or do you just think, yeah, okay. Let me get it pulled up real quick. So like I said, this all of these things that we've been talking about today live in our online, our Zoom games and activities folder. And that folder is embedded within our Matchstick resources folder. Now these folders are external facing, so anyone with a link can access them. You don't have to have access, individual access, I guess is.
And feel free to use all this stuff in and out of sources. So, I mean, for your classes, I do it a lot with my staff. You're just practicing and having fun with them.
So let me screen share here, and then I'll drop the link in the chat so you have it. And we'll also send out a follow-up email containing that link as well. So this is the folder. It's called Matchstick Resources. Y'all can see my screen. Yeah. You guys see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I believe my computer is running a little bit slow currently, so this might take a hot minute.
Probably because you're running Zoom.
Probably. It kind of takes a bit of energy from my my internet. Tony, Bianca, if you guys have it open and your computer is behaving more friendly, then feel free to steal the screen share.
I'll find it. Let's see.
I will post. Oh, sorry. I'll drop the link in the chat. But was there a question?
Yeah. I have the folder. I'm looking at the roller coaster, which is yes, no, and something else. Is there a slideshow that has those things, pictures of those things, or do you just say those things out loud and people give you your yes, no?
Yeah, so for that one, you don't need a slideshow or anything. You really just say the thing. So what Heidi is talking about is there's a game called Roller Coaster or Yes, Please, No, Thank You. And so you go ahead as the facilitator, you start to call out things that aren't controversial, but maybe divisive. So an example would be, the smell of gasoline, and folks either say, yes, please, like a roller coaster, woo, or no, thank you.
Which you also do on a roller coaster because you're scared, right? You're like, kind of like, oh no. Yeah.
So it can be a fun way to get folks to engage and interact, and sometimes some hot battles can occur if people feel really strongly about certain things. So yeah, Heidi, for that one, just the list of things, and then you just call it out and have people do their action.
Got it.
But it looks like Bianca has the folder open, so we can all take a peek at that. So you'll see this is the online games and activities folder, and it's within the Matchstick Resources folder that y'all have access to. So the first document, it says copy of sources of strength, web-based games, I think is the rest of that. But that document is all of the that's all of the instructions to the national games. And then you'll notice we've got, so there it is, all those instructions there for all of the web-based games. And then also in that folder, like I mentioned at the beginning, we tried to create things that you can just kind of plug and play. So for instance, Wheelhouse Connection, that's a really great activity to do with groups. It's more of a sharing activity, not so much of a game, but we have that slide deck that gives all the prompts. And then I just want to address, Carrie had asked about activities or games for one-on-one. So most all of this is ideal for working with groups of people. But I did want to highlight in this sharing activities slide deck here, Bianca, if you want to open that real quick. That's another plug and play kind of list of various activities that could potentially work in a one-on-one setting to encourage sharing. So for instance, Bianca, if you want to go to slide 5, the blob tree. So if you were working one-on-one or in a group, you might say like, look at this image and look at all the blobs, like which number are you really resonating with today and why? So it could just be an activity for an open platform of sharing and connection. So there's a couple, Carrie, in there that could work for one-on-one, but I will say most of the stuff that we're talking about today is in a group setting.
And some of them, like, you know, say roller coaster, if you did that one-on-one, there's some like bonding research too that shows that, you know, people bond a lot over things that they like and dislike. And so I know it's a kind of a teacher trick at the beginning of the year to ask people to list things that they like and dislike. And then you as the teacher kind of mark whatever you resonate with on their getting to know you form. And it kind of creates a bond because you both really like sharp cheddar or whatever. And so that's a thing that you kind of do with them and be like, you know, do this and then find a few things that you agree or disagree on and laugh about it. You know, lava trap would be fine with one person if they're into that kind of game. That could be really fun to do with, I think, one person. Even copycat commotion, especially if you give them a little more time, it could be sort of fun to give them some time to really like replicate something in a little bit of detail and then take a picture of it with like, you know, maybe even a split screen or something and then send it back to them and they can share it with their parents, and that would be kind of funny little craft almost thing to show that they did.
I have a question and comment. Just to tag on to the blob tree, if you just Google the blob tree, the makers of the blob tree have lots of really great ideas for prompt questions with the blob tree. So if you want more ideas of how to use that, they have some really good questions for one-on-one or a group. Matchstick team, I'm wondering if you know, so the sources group used, the national training did a lot of music sharing, which I liked, and they also had a timer when we went on breaks. And do you know how they did that? Like, obviously I could play music and be unmuted and you would kind of be able to hear my music, but I don't think it would be real well. Do you guys know how they did that? And that timer they did a timer on breaks, but I also wondered if that would be something you could use for games, but I don't know where they got that. Do you guys?
I feel like I can speak on the music just because I feel like this is the first time that it's working. So what we have is a Spotify account. I feel like I can just keep sharing screen. So we have Spotify account, and if you type in the search bar, there's actually some sources. If you put in sources of strength, there's several playlists that they have. And some are, you know, a little heavy on the 2000s boy band, and some are a little more, you know, low key. So what's nice about those, if you get like the premium level or something like that, it doesn't have the ads. We were trying to do kind of the YouTube situation, but then there's an ad that pops up, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. So when you're sharing screens, so in order to get the sound to sound like it's in the space as opposed to it somewhere far away, when you share screen, it gives you an option to share just your audio or share your audio and your screen. So I'm wondering if I can share my screen as far as what I see. Let's see what
They can't see that part, but it looks like a little blue check mark. It's like a little blue box that you check at the bottom. And you
So
can
it's
even
like
say,
an option when you click on screen share at the bottom?
yeah, when you click on screen share.
Okay.
you can, if you just want to share audio, you would go, there's three little tabs on the top, and it'll be, when you click screen share, it'll be basic, advanced, and files. And so if you click on advanced, you can do music or computer sound only. But if you want to share like some slides, like an introduction slide as folks are coming into the room, as well as music, then you would click the basic, which really that sounds more advanced, but it's basic. And you would click, you know, whatever image you want to share on your screen. And then at the bottom, there's two different tabs that say share computer sound or optimize screen sharing for video clip. You would click share computer sound, and that way you have both the sound and the image, like as if it's like a slideshow or something, and it sounds pretty good. The other thing is that there's a big difference between like the level of volume that you would listen to as if you were listening to your computer and just sitting in your office. If you share that, you might make everybody hurt a little bit. So you would put the volume very low, almost lower than you can hear it, and that's the right amount of sound.
And you adjust the volume in like the Spotify or in the YouTube thing. If you adjust the volume on your computer, that doesn't do anything.
Well, can't you
In this
download
content.
music like onto a thumb drive and put it into your computer and play it that way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you would adjust the volume in the player. So, and it does make a difference if you click that share sound or not. And so if you're just playing music, Becca, can you maybe play it for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Or you just closed it.
What do we got? Oh, we've got a jazzy tune. Let me, so do you want me to play it as if I'm just playing it on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not sharing audio. And then
Yeah,
now,
it was.
So
I heard
notice
that.
that it's cutting in and out as people talk.
now we'll share.
Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm
So it's a big difference.
I never know when to stop that. And then you had a second question, but my brain is a little frazzly. I forgot the second question. What was that?
So that was about the timer slides that the national team uses. I don't exactly know how they created them, but I think that we can have access to them and maybe put them in our Matchstick resources folder so that y'all can just use those timer slides if you are going on breaks or whatever. So I will put that on the list and see if we can move those over into the folder. So with that, Tony, do you want to close us out with some of those opportunities for support?
Yeah. All right. So things that we can sort of do to help you out with just implementing sources of strength. So if you're trying to gain buy-in, if you're still in that process where maybe your district isn't on board yet, and you want to have some meetings with superintendents, principals, et cetera, we're happy to step into those meetings with you to just kind of help you navigate that process, Kelby, Liz, or I. And I'm also, honestly, if you're like kind of, I'm generally in charge of like sort of Eugene and sort of like the West area. But honestly, especially for this step, I'm extra excited to help you out because I did this in Bethel. Like I've been through this process. And so I'm happy to share like just kind of how I was able to help get this off the ground in Bethel. Next step is training. So for training, there's model and practice your adult advisor and peer leader meetings, and then virtual platform practice on Zoom and Google. So if you want any assistance with training, like even if you just want a one-on-one session with one of us to help you practice screen share, the sound stuff that we just did, print screen, breakout rooms, all that kind of thing, we're happy to just help you with that, to just do like play sessions. And if you haven't done play sessions in Zoom, I just really recommend it with us or even with your friends, family, or coworkers. I got a lot better at Zoom when I just was like, can I press buttons? Like just press buttons in a low stress area where we're both just pressing buttons and playing. That's a great way to learn. And then implementation. So we're happy to support your peer leader meetings. So if you'd like us to pop in on, especially like maybe your first few peer leader meetings, or if you're doing something special, we're happy to pop in and kind of, or maybe you're just short-staffed or whatever, we're happy to pop in and help on your peer leader meetings to help those go a little smoother, to provide that tech support, to be that second person in your meetings to get things working right. Yeah, and also just like, we've talked a bit about this in some of our other meetings that we've had, but just any campaign planning that you have, we're happy to help with that if they're getting stuck, your peer leaders are getting stuck. Next slide. and our next Learning Collaborative meeting. So we're meeting on September 24th from 2 to 3:15 p.m. And I think we have a link to register for that.
I just put it in the chat.
Nice.
Hey, question. Where can we find the recordings of these sessions? And is it okay for us to share with our partners that weren't able to be here?
So I believe, I'll have to double check, but I believe we are going to post them on the website. Bianca, Tony, do you know if that's true?
I don't. I'm not sure what Lizzie's plan was for the recording.
Yeah, I would say we'll either post on the website or we'll send out via email to participants. I know that we've had a lot of requests for the recording, so that's why I'm thinking I'm wondering if we'll put it up on the website, but definitely we can follow up via email with that for you. And yes, you can share.
So there's a Matchstick website?
Yes, so I will put that in the chat.
Okay. I knew there was a Facebook page and a national website, so I'd love to get in touch with the Matchstick one. Thank you.
Yep, it's matchstickpdx.com, and we have a specific page for all sources of strength things.
Thank you.
I had a question about becoming an adult advisor. Do you have any trainings for that coming up?
So Ari, is your, I'm sorry, are you in a school or where are you?
So I'm interning in my administrative practicum at Willamette High School. So I'm technically not employed through them. So I don't know if they would be able to, I kind of doubt that they would be willing to pay for the training.
Yeah,
so
check in with Misty. So Misty Griesi and Heidi will, I'm sure, be running some adult advisors. Heidi, do you know anything about when that one's going to be?
Yeah, Ari, we can totally get you trained as an adult advisor to work with the students at Willamette. I think the October training is for trainers. And that one is the one that I said we're going to have to talk about with, and maybe Tony and Matchstick folks can, is there any grant money still available to get trainers trained if they're not affiliated directly with the school?
So I would say that, and Matchstick team, tell me if I'm misspeaking, but I believe that registration for a T for T, that you don't need to use grant dollars for that. Registration is covered by OHA. So as long as the person that was being trained as a trainer is working in an Oregon school, even if they're not necessarily employed by that school, I think that would be completely fine.
And
did that
yeah, I would go to Liz for the final answer on that, but I am 90% sure that would be her answer.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Say goodbye.
Any other questions before we close? Just looking at time, we're a couple minutes over, but any last questions?
Nice to see everyone. I'm gonna head out.
Great, well, thank you all. Again, we'll follow up via email with links and all of that. So thank you for participating and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Not in sound share yet.
I know.
Wait. Yeah.
Just dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air.